Welcome to Australia, welcome to Australian Book Travels, and welcome to our book recommendations for this week. Firstly, I want to let you know that the channel, we've realised the channel is starting to grow, which is exciting. It has been ticking over daily. People have been starting to subscribe a lot more and viewing the travel videos particularly. And that's exciting. And I want to thank you all, to all of you who have subscribed, or even if you've watched the videos, if you've liked and commented. It all goes toward making, if we can make a little bit of money from the channel, I can then take you further and further in Australia. It just helps a little bit so that it can pay for itself. At the moment it's not, but that's okay. That we're happy to just continue videoing and taking you to places and talking books because it's exciting. I love my books. So thank you. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed and liked and commented. It's wonderful. You're a great community. The comments have been really positive and helpful in some instances. So it's really good. So thank you. Okay, we have a couple today, and then we'll do. There's a couple of little things that I'd like to discuss with you at the end. So you all know, those of you who have watched the channel for a while, which is actually something I do want to say. The channel is now nearly, not quite, but it's nearly 7 months old. And as I say, it has been progressively growing, but I have been growing because, as many of you know, those of you who joined the channel right from the very beginning, 7 months ago, I did not have a camera. So I've had to learn how to use the camera. And you are looking at a non-tech savvy person entirely. If anybody's going to mess up on the computer, it will be me because I have no idea what I'm doing. So I've had to learn how to use the camera and how to connect it to other social media like Instagram and things like that. And more importantly, I have had to learn how to edit the films. So edit this, which is not that much I have to do. I try and do these in one take, so you get all of my mistakes and everything that goes on around the property. If a goose is squawking, you'll definitely be hearing that, or if the dogs move around. But the editing is really quite intense for me in the travel videos, and I have had to learn all of that. I'm hoping that you've noticed a progression and an evolution of hopefully getting better in the editing process and what I present to you. So it's been wonderful, and I'm hoping that as time goes on, I will get better. I want to get better so that you really do enjoy all of the videos. Yeah, so it's very exciting. And there was something else I wanted to say about that. What else did I want to say? Oh, yes. So we now have the book recommendations usually on a Monday, but of course, once they're on the channel, they're on the channel. And travel videos I try to upload every Saturday, so a new one every Saturday. And we are now, as we're going further afield, and I take the boys with me, the dogs, we are looking at pet-friendly accommodation. So on last Saturday, which was, the 1st of June, was our very first pet-friendly accommodation video. So I'm trying to promote those because rather than just camping, which is wonderful, I don't mind camping, but instead of just camping with the dogs, we get to see and stay in some beautiful historic places. That's what I'm really looking at, is some lovely historic accommodation around Australia. At this stage, just around Victoria, whilst we're still mooching around. I have another one for you in quite a few weeks' time where we stayed just recently in another area, and that was also lovely. That's historic as well. So I'm hoping that these help promote the businesses as well, and that you get to stay in them at reasonable prices when you consider that you're able to take your dogs or other pets, so long as you ask if you have a rabbit or a cat or whatever, so long as you ask the owner whether that is okay and let them know that you're bringing animals along. The other thing about that is, I just want to let you know, we always ask permission if I'm videoing inside a property. So whether that be a bookshop, a library, a museum, or anywhere, anywhere that entails videoing inside someone's property or someone's business, I always ask permission. So we do that with the pet-friendly accommodation and using the video to promote the business. So I hope that works for you. I hope it's entertaining and informative for you, especially if you're in Australia with pets and you want to travel well. And you're not towing a caravan, or you're not, or a dog trailer, or and you don't want to necessarily camp, then these places that we're visiting and promoting are definitely the way to go. But anyway, I think there's a few things I want to say at the end, but I think that covers that for now. So let's get on with the recommendations. It's exciting. Okay, for all of you who want an Australian author, Katrina Nenstedt is a children's author, but I advocate strongly for adults, anybody of any age, to read children's books and young adults' books, and vice versa, so long as the content is not too adult for children, but definitely adults reading children or young adult books. This is Katrina Nenstedt, Silver Linings, hardcover, and beautiful, beautiful cover. I'm not sure if you can see that. I'll try and get some light on that. It shines a little bit and has birds. Here you can see a willy wagtail and some little items from the book, so some envelopes and perfume bottle and a cup and things. It's beautiful. I think that's a piece of cake as well. So this is published by ABC Books. I'll show you the back as well. Absolutely beautiful. Not a short story, I might just add. I'll show you that as well. 294 pages, which is a decent amount for a children's book, I think. Now, the end papers are of a eucalyptus. That's a flowering gum. Isn't that beautiful? Are those end papers not just gorgeous? Absolutely beautiful. And showcase Australia well, I think. What else was I? Oh, yes. At the back, here are all of the awards that Katrina has won for her children's books. I mean, that's astounding, isn't it? She has quite a few, and we'll go through those over time. But today we'll talk about Silver Linings. Definitely a book for everyone. Nettie is the protagonist, and she has her father and a few sisters. Her father remarries in this. It's been a little while, but because this was published last year in 2023, and I read it not long after it came out, so I am trying my hardest to remember. Let me just read the back a little. Yes. So she, her father remarries, and then all is well, all is really happy, and then there's a little bit of tragedy. But Nettie tries to save the day. It is really well written. It's a beautiful book, and I recommend it for anyone. Honestly, I know it's fairly much cliche to say this, but do yourself a favour. It's fun. It's interesting. It's exciting. It's well written. It is by an Australian author, an Australian story, or about an Australian family. I really enjoyed it. Now, as I say, this was published in 2023. Oh, and also by ABC. It's HarperCollins, but ABC is the trademark. And in the front, Katrina gives you a map, which I always think is a great idea in books, no matter whether it's a children's book or an adult book. I remember when I was very young, I think Winnie the Pooh was really famous for showing you where Pooh lived and Piglet and Eeyore. And that was exciting as a child because then you were more immersed in the story because you knew where everyone lived and in relation to everyone else. So that's lovely. I think it's a great idea. And C.J. Sansom does it in the front of his books, his historical books, in the series Matthew Shardlake. And as you all know, I love that series. So I think it's a great idea. And I do recommend this. It's not very expensive at all. You can buy it online. Please try and buy it from, if you can, from your local independent bookshops. I'm not sure if you can get this overseas. I would suggest you can, if for no other reason, but because Katrina has won a lot of awards. So you'll be able to buy it from wherever you are in the world, from your local bookshop. But if not, get online and again, try and buy it from an independent bookshop. We must keep these independent bookshops alive because independent sellers love their books, they're passionate. In fact, I was just speaking to, not long ago, a few weeks ago, I was speaking to a bookshop owner and seller, and she was telling me that her bookshop doesn't make money, but she's so passionate about getting the books out there, and unusual books and beautiful books, getting them out there to all readers of all ages, of all genders, of whatever, whoever, but getting people to read. So they're not making a great deal of money. I don't even think that they have a wage. They do employ someone or a couple of people, but they felt it more important for their lifestyle, to enjoy and have a passion for what they're doing, and also to bring books to people. So independent booksellers do not make a lot of money. They really don't. I think they really often sell the books at the recommended retail price, which is a set price, and they would get minimal amount from that. I know you can buy books from the cheaper large department stores, and don't get me wrong, I have also bought from them in the past, but it has become more and more evident to me that we really need to keep these independent booksellers alive and well and functioning. So if you can, even if you buy a book less than what you really want to, and you pay a little bit more, then it's so important to support independent booksellers, even if it's online, but to support them. So I recommend, please do yourself a favour. This is a great book, a great author. She does have a few other books, and we will discuss those in future videos, but this is lovely, and it's most recent. So that's Katrina Nunstead. Now, an old favourite, Rosamund Pilcher. Now, this was the original book that I bought secondhand a few moons ago. This is Winter Solstice. You've probably heard quite a few people on YouTube recommending this book, and I absolutely agree. I think Rosamund Pilcher was a prolific writer, and she wrote some beautiful books. She wrote Winter Solstice, which is one of my favourites, and September, which I have up on the bookshelf. More recently, I was given this in the hardcover. As you all know, I love hardcovers. They're more of a book to me. They have more of a book feel. I grew up as a child. Most of the children's books actually were hardcover. So to me, it's just, yeah, they're more of a book. Although they are a little bit more expensive, but then they keep better. You can keep them for a lot longer, whereas paperbacks, if you're travelling around and reading them, they do get a little bit damaged. But still, it's better to read the book no matter whether it's a paperback or a hardcover. But yes, I was given this hardcover just recently. This is about a woman. I won't go too much into detail, but this is about a woman who leaves London, and she lives in Hampstead, I think. She moves to a cottage in Hampstead, befriends people, really loves the town and the hamlet, and then meets some lovely neighbours, and then a little bit of concern or tragedy strikes, and she finds herself in Scotland. Now, the book is mainly in Scotland, in winter, in the English winter or the British winter, heading into their Christmas. It is beautiful. It is about love in all facets of love, and how that can warm and overcome obstacles. I recommend it. And here in Australia, it's a lovely winter read. It doesn't matter that it discusses Christmas. I've never found that a problem reading in Australia any of the English books or the Northern Hemisphere books. It's just a beautiful story. It is large. Now this large one, it's just gorgeous, isn't it? I love hardcovers. This was actually published many moons ago. 2000, which is 24 years ago. It's a lot, isn't it? Time flies. It really flies. This is published by Hodder and Stoughton, and is how many pages? 598, and a good 598. Now, Rosamund Pilcher was also famous for The Shell Seekers, which featured in a couple of TV programs, and I think one movie. I think it was a movie as well. But yeah, so she's very famous for The Shell Seekers, but also the novel September and then Winter Solstice. So definitely, and she also wrote The Blue Bedroom, which was it's a short story. In fact, she wrote quite a few short stories. But yeah, beautiful writer, well written, and a lovely story. So I do recommend that in whatever form you get it. Arthur was sitting beside me a moment ago, but he's obviously decided to sleep over on his bed, so I can put the books down there. Now, this is another Australian book. It's more of a coffee table book. It is Stuart Rattle's Musk Farm, with a foreword by Paul Bangay. Now, Paul Bangay is a landscape architect here in Australia, very famous, and has written his own coffee table books about landscaping and landscape architecture. Stuart Rattle was very famous. He had a business in Melbourne in interior design and bought a property at Musk, which is near Daylesford, which over time we will visit that area. But Musk Farm was an old school room, I think, and Stuart renovated it and expanded it and made it absolutely stunning. Even though he was friends with Paul Bangay, he didn't use Paul Bangay for the gardens. Stuart designed his own gardens and planted his own gardens. Unfortunately, Stuart was killed in a domestic violence situation, and quite a few years ago now. And so we've lost his talent as an interior designer, and as a consequence of that event, which is extremely sad, the Musk Farm was sold, and I think it's been sold a few times now. It was used as a bed and breakfast for a little while, and then more recently, or a couple of years ago, we saw it. It was up for sale again. So it's a beautiful book. Let me just see. I can't remember. I've had this for a few years now, and I can't remember. There's Stuart there. He's very young when he was killed. Really sad situation. There's the map of the farm. As I say, it is in private hands now. I mean, it's always been in private hands, but it is now closed off to the public completely. Now, when was this published? Where are you? I'm trying to get the details for you. Nope. It's not giving. I always have problems, don't I? So he was killed in 2013, So that's quite a few years ago. What's that? 11 years ago now. Gosh, again, time goes so fast, doesn't it? Okay, at the back of the book, we have published by Penguin, and it was published in 2014. It's small in size, but it really packs a punch. That's the book there. And it really packs a punch in terms of beautiful photography, with explanations of, let me just show you. I'm fiddling around here. I'm trying to get the best position for you without seeing the top of my head and up my nose and all sorts of places. It does have a bit of a write-up, and just seriously, Stuart really accomplished amazing things on this property. Absolutely beautiful. So that is a book I recommend. It is still in publication, and I recommend it. It's a beautiful read, and it is also a beautiful coffee table book. So that is Stuart Rattle's Musk Farm. Now, something I just want to say, which is a little unexpected, before I leave you, and we'll just go over those recommendations again. I have become a pen pal with one of you, although I have to apologise, I haven't written back, but someone far away and I have become pen pals. And Anne, you know who you are, and I don't want to mispronounce your full name, so I will just shorten it to Anne, if that's okay. But recently, for an event in my life, a lovely event, a yearly event, Anne crocheted me these beautiful daisies in a daisy chain, which is reminiscent of when we were little. Anne said she did it where she lives in Europe, and we certainly did it here in Australia, when you splice the stem of the daisy and you thread other daisies through and you make a daisy chain. So you can make a necklace, or you can make a little crown or bracelets. So that's reminiscent. So she crocheted those for me. She also made me some beautiful bookmarks, and also, I've never seen this book, so I'm very excited to read it. It's Dear Reader, The Comfort and Joy of Books by Kathy Rentzenbrink. This is, how many pages is it? This is, without the acknowledgements, it is 226 pages, and has been, or was, let me see, it's published by Picador in 2020. So I'm really, really looking forward to reading this. I have a couple of books on the go at the moment, so all in good time, perhaps over a little bit further into winter, I shall read this by the fire. It's I really appreciate what you've given me, Anne. Very much appreciated. It's lovely. And to think these will be featuring in all the videos, as they have done over the last couple of weeks, because I think they're beautiful, and they can hang as well. So you probably in all good time see them hanging from the bookshelf, but they're definitely something I will treasure, as are the bookmarks that you've made me, and this book. Cannot wait to read it. I'm very excited. So if any of you have read it, please let me know. Don't let me know everything, but do let me know how you've enjoyed it. Yeah, so thank you, Anne. I appreciate it, and I hope that we can continue to be pen pals. Right, so let's go over. Stuart Rattle's Musk Farm, Australian interior designer, Australian landscape architect, has written the foreword, and they were also very good friends. A must for your coffee table. Katrina Nunstead, Australian, Silver Linings. She has a number of other books. This is fantastic. It's a great story. Anybody can read it. Hardcover. I don't think it comes in paperback, actually. Beautiful in the hardcover. Can take it anywhere. It's small enough to take anywhere. Definitely another must read. And a really old favourite, Rosamund Pilcher's Winter Solstice. I recommend this for winter reading, anywhere in the world. It's beautiful, beautiful story. So that's those. And yes, I want to thank you all for liking, sharing and subscribing, and all your wonderful positive comments. I hope you also get to enjoy the travel videos. and every now and then there will be a pet-friendly accommodation video on a Saturday as well. The other thing is, lately I have been doing a couple of little trips into Melbourne that I intend to do, or I tend to upload them as an extra. I haven't had time to edit them. I'm really busy with the editing and the filming at the moment. It's actually gone a bit crazy, and I'm trying to respond to all of your comments when I can, so apologies if I haven't thus far, but I am trying to respond to your comments because I really do appreciate them. Yes, so that's it. I'm hoping you're enjoying it all. I am hoping that you're reading wherever you are, whether it's a page a day or the whole book, and whether it's a children's book, a young adult's book, or a coffee table or a novel. Reading is so nutritious. It's for the soul and for the brain. It helps with... Actually, this is... now, you can't quote me on the statistics here. In fact, I can't even quote the statistics. But I was reading just recently that if you read a novel, fiction, and you read a few pages a day, it actually assists, they have found, in slowing down or inhibiting Alzheimer's or dementia. So there. Oh, no. Was it that? No. Stress. It was stress. I apologise. Oh, don't quote me. It was stress. It reduces significantly the amount of stress that you experience during the day. So a few pages a night of a novel, fiction, it must be fiction, and it will significantly reduce those stress levels, which also help with your health, so your physical health. So a really good advertisement for reading. Read. That's what I ask. And good eating. We're now into the soup territory. I'm just about to make some pumpkin soup with my own recipe, and also some baked potatoes for lunch. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll add some beautiful beans and sauce and a little bit of yogurt. I love my food, you all know that. So happy reading, happy eating, and stay safe wherever you are in the world. And I'm wishing you good fortune, good health, good luck. And I will see you wherever the next video takes us, whether it's reading or travel. I will see you then. Okay, take care. Bye for now.